everyone, welcome back to Necessary Measures with me, Venessa, the channel to help you build stronger connections with your kids. You know what the deal is, it's Friday and it's time to get started. Okay, in today's video, as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about how attitude is contagious. And you might be wondering what that has to do with your connections with your kids, but truly it is everything. So I'm going to make a lot of classroom references in this video because I'm pulling from my experience with what worked in the classroom for years and years, the teachings and best strategies that I use while I was in the classroom, and I still actually use these same strategies today in my parenting style. So let's go ahead and get started. So one thing you should keep in mind when you are trying to build a stronger connection with your kids is that your attitude is contagious and you are the model for your kids. They're watching how you respond to stress, what triggers you, how you communicate, the communication skills and tactics that you do use in your daily lives, because what's going to happen is that is going to be their subconscious. They're going to innately go to that source of experience to pull from, that bank of experience to pull from, and that's how they are going to react to stressful situations or situations that might be anxiety producing or situations that take them out of their element, out of their comfort zone. The things that they see modeled from you is very, very important. And so when I use the term attitude is contagious, it's all about how you respond to those different triggers in everyday life that teaches them and that helps you build stronger connections with your kids. So if you are a naturally high stressing, anxiety prone person and you do have kids, just try and keep in mind that they are watching to see how you react to certain things. If we're wanting to build stronger connections with our kids, we're going to have to lead by example. So just like being in the classroom, if you're a teacher, you know it's usually all eyes on you as you're introducing a new concept, a new thought, a new lesson. And so they're watching you and taking their cues from you. Same with parenting. They are watching us. They want to know the correct way to go about life and to respond to different situations. And so they're going to pull from their bank of knowledge, their bank of experience, which is their life. No matter how small they are, it's all that they're going to know. And they're going to pull from that to move through and navigate the world around them. So your attitude is contagious. And so when you're having a frustrating moment, talk it out. When you've had a challenging day, talk it out, because you're modeling for them what you in turn, want them to do. And it doesn't just have to be your kids. It could be your nieces, your nephews, your students. If you're wanting to build better connections with them, do so by modeling the different tasks at hand. So as a teacher, I used to want my kids to feel comfortable enough to come to me, but that meant that I had to feel comfortable enough to go to them. There were plenty of times, if you know me, you know my memory is something that could really use some work. And so in the classroom, honestly, I would place the pen for the smartboard down and not know where I put it. And so I would just tell them like, oh geez, I done lost the pen again. Does anyone see the pen around? I mean, just those real moments that you share with them, instead of me, trying to look as though I had it all together and I was the perfect teacher and I'm gonna put stuff back in its place every time, 100% of the time, so I can know where to find it. Yeah, that sounds good, but in reality, it just didn't happen. And as teachers and as moms, as parents, we've got 10,000 other things on our mind at any given moment. And so just those little moments that you can, infuse some time, because if they see that you're not perfect and that you deal with stress and that there are things that you forget, and how are you going to work on getting better. Like, I talked about those things with my kids, and I've always talked about those things with my students. Hey, you know what? Miss Vanessa completely forgot to end our lesson today so that you guys can be, early for lunch or, right on time. But tomorrow we're gonna work on closing out the lesson 5 minutes early so that we can go ahead and head down to the lunchroom. Same thing as parents, right? There are plenty of nights where I'll say, ooh, mommy forgot to let you guys, choose the different books that you want. That's okay, we'll try again tomorrow. Just them seeing that I am actively, consciously trying to get better helps with their connection with me, because then they're able to come to me in those times that they feel like they could have done something better, and they're able to express that because I am modeling it. And so the attitude is contagious kind of goes along with modeling for them, because you definitely are being watched as a parent, definitely as a teacher if you're still in the classroom. And so just keep that in mind as you're infusing these, strategies and tips into your parenting styles. Okay, another example of how attitude is contagious. So when I was in the classroom, even my most unmotivated readers, I knew that I wanted to push reading in my classroom because it just opens up a different world for kids, and it improves their vocabulary and their speaking. Like, there's so many benefits on literacy, right? And so I am definitely a believer in using literacy in the classroom every day. Every day we did a read aloud. Aside from the standard curriculum, every day we did a read aloud. And it was just my way to introduce them to a variety of genres and authors and illustrators, so that they can, be aware of. So anyway, even my unmotivated readers, it was about the attitude that I brought towards reading. And they would even get excited when it was time to read something. And I'm not just talking about like picture books. I'm talking about chapter books that I was reading that had no, images or anything. And it was all about what I brought out in my attitude towards reading. The voices, me telling them, hey, today we're, in 5 minutes, guys, we get to read the next chapter of there was one book that we were reading, the City of Embers. It was one of those things. And I actually didn't think that my students would like it. It was a chapter book. They were gonna have to rely on a lot of their experience to pull from to get the pictures in their head of what was going on. And so I didn't know that they were going to take to this particular book, but all about attitude, because I hyped it up every day. Literally, whenever I would have a substitute, I'd have to put in the notes like, they are really excited about this next chapter. Please show some excitement when you're introducing it. And so even my unmotivated readers and the kids that did not find reading pleasurable, they enjoyed this time. And so I remember seeing that and like making a mental note that, this can also work for Chase, who at the time was, like 3 years old. And I just remember, okay, if I show him something or want to introduce him to something, show some excitement, model the energy that I want them to have, so that when I'm not there, they still have that love, that joy of learning and wanting to learn something and try something new. Ultimately, as parents, we want them to do things without us. And so I just think that the attitude that we take in our daily lives and in introducing new concepts to them, that same attitude is what's going to end up being and creating their subconscious, what they believe about themselves when you're not around. All in all, just keep in mind that your attitude is contagious. Just try to infuse a little bit of excitement, positivity, encouragement into the way that you're already parenting, and you'll definitely see it definitely makes a world of difference. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Necessary Measures. Remember to subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on to get notified when videos drop just like this. I will see you next Friday. Bye.